So you're looking to get started with Multiboard, and I believe that probably some of you think it's going to be really complicated, but trust me, it's actually quite simple. Just because there's just so many parts, each section of Multiboard is really quite easy to understand. So let me break it down for you quite a bit here. We're going to talk about the tiles, then about the mounting options, and some other little bits and hints and tips about there. And also, this video is not to please the YouTube algorithm, it's very much to help you. So I'm going to chapter it up to make it nice and easy. I'm going to go nice and slow, and we're going to really sort of help you understand what's going on here. There's a lot of parts. You don't need to know them all. Most of the things that I've got around me right this minute, I've only used about 75-ish parts. There's 600 and God knows how many now. So just know that it is simple to understand. Let's start with the tiles. Now, there is the core tile. You know it's a core tile because it's got bumps on two sides. Now this is what makes the majority of the multi-board itself. If you have a big wall, in fact the majority of the ones behind me, all the ones apart from the ones that are on the edges here, they are the core tile. Speaking of edges, we have edge tiles. This here is an edge tile because you can see it's got bumps just along the top. By the way, these tiles have been custom generated. You're not going to find this exact size anywhere. So that's on one. And then we have a corner tile. You usually only need one of these depending on your wall, and this has no bumps anywhere. And personally, these are also my favorite type of tiles to use for freestanding because they just look a little bit nicer. Okay, now that we have those tiles done and dusted, let's actually put it together. So you've got the core tile right here. We're going to put one of the corner tiles. Here it is. There's the one that fits there. A corner tile? Sorry. A side tile here. We're going to put the other side tile here. So then right here at the top, we're left with one that is looking for nothing on any of the bumps for the pegboard holes, and that goes right there. Okay, that there is the multi-board now built up. But how do you keep it all together? There's so many different ways of keeping it all together. And the truth is sort of, it depends on how you want to mount it. So if you're wanting to put this directly onto a wall, I would suggest you go with these. These are just simple little connection snaps. And the fun thing about these connection snaps is they have these little countersink bits. And these teeny tiny little countersink bits work with, hold on, I know it gets a little bit complicated, work with the multi-board tool, which they basically go in here and they will screw in to these connectors. So you can use these right there. That's going to let you basically snap these together. So you just go here, snap that together, and then this would screw into the wall. This is if you want to have it directly onto the wall. Personally, I don't like it directly onto the wall because it means that I can't use then the incredibly overpowered click pegboard hooks, which I absolutely love. Okay, what I would suggest is what I would call the standard, which is the 8mm offset. And the 8mm offset's pretty much exactly the same. Now, here's a fun thing. 8mm offsets can be stacked print. If you have no idea what stacked printing is, go and do the 3D, the multi-board stack print video. It's a little video that just tells you all about stack printing, but basically you can stack print these and then they just pull apart like so. And these come in this shape because they are made for 3D printing strength to take weight. So for instance, here on the side, this is a double-sided snap, by the way, so I'll show you about that. We just go here and it would snap those together. Here in the center, we would need two of those. So I would go that there, would get another snap here, and we'd snap that together there. Brilliant. And then I would go and snap this one. Come on, snap it, and we'd put it there. Just for the sake of keeping this together, I'm going to go up to the top and press one there, just so this tile is now more together. I haven't got all the parts on me at this very moment. In the future, I'll update this video so that it's very much a build along with you kind of experience. But here's the fun part. These little things, by the way, they also come, here we go, in a single variety. This is just white. You would just go here, we'd pull that apart, and then here's a single variety. Those work at the corners. So you would get all 4 of these and you'd put them in the corners themselves. There is one thing I haven't let you know though, is that if you go and take a look at this closer up, I'll show you a close up right now, one side has a little slit. Now it has that little slit because, I'm going to get a different color here to help you see, they are orientated locked, so they can only come together in one way because there's a little slit on this side and a little slit on this one, and those two need to line up to push together like this. Now that push together action, what it actually does is it spreads this part apart and it lines up the threads that's on the top of this and the bottom of this. So that's that there, and that there has a nice little screw hole for you. Now we'll just put this last one up here. That's pretty much it for me, and you know what, why not? Let's put it down there. So now this is pretty much going to hold its own now. It's pretty clicked together. It wouldn't be able to take much weight, but that is now an 8mm offset board. But things are still very sort of loosey-goosey there. They're not really working out that well. Let me just get, here, I've got another stacked one here. Let me add this last one over on this side. They're still not strong and held together. That's because you've got to use the other side as well. The other side, you could use anything here really. You could even get yourself one of these. This is a flat bolt. The flat bolts, basically, you can just go and screw it all the way down. But be careful, you've got to make sure that you're not going for the 20mm long ones. You're going to go for the shortest ones that are there, which I think are 9mm. I always forget what the length is. Here's a short one, but you could go with one of these and just screw this all the way down. Oops, nope, there's a shorter one still. I just have too many bolts in front of me that I cannot pick instantly the right ones. Here we go. I think this is better. We can screw this all the way down, and there we have it. This is going to screw all the way down. If you can't get it to be able to tighten it up, use the Multitool. The Multitool has a face on it used to go onto one of those, and then that helps you just tighten it up, that last little bit. Just be careful that this is not a T-bolt, so you can over tighten it and pull apart from the layer lines. You can use T-bolts to hold this up a lot more securely, and honestly I don't use them because there's just so many mounting points that it all gets distributed so evenly that you don't need to worry about it. But this is also a very good way of going to these and undoing what you have here. So I'm just going to undo that just because I want to show you the snaps. So here we've got some snaps. There's a quad snap of this. Remember, oops, wrong snap style that I'm wanting to show. Where is it? Where did I put it? I put one of the weird snaps. Oh, here, the white one. There's a quad style of this snap. Remember that both of these need to line up on this side and on that side, so make sure you're orientating everything in the right way. I'm giving you a nice close-up right now of what I'm talking about because it's really, really key and fundamental. If not, you're going to have a hard time putting it in. So we're going to get one of these. You're going to line it up correctly to where it is that you're wanting, and then you're just going to push down. Now, if you're struggling to get it in, don't worry. These are made to be tough. So if you want something that you're wanting to be able to take on and off really easily, use threads. Don't use these snaps. These snaps will break trying to get them off. I am currently designing a version that will come off a little bit easier, but I haven't been able to find one that 100% comes off a lot easier. So I just want to make sure that I crack that before I say it's completely out. So now I'm just going to actually line it up properly this time. And I'm just going to push it all the way in just to show you in this video how it is. That is now completely connected in. I would have used a quad snap in there, and I would have used a double one there, double one there, double one there, double one there, and then I have single ones right here on here. Now I'm not going to use the single ones on this one just because I want to show you that there are single snaps in case you have some sort of double-sided board that you want to work with, and you want this snap to be on one side like so, and you want this snap, remember you've got to line it up correctly to be on the other side, and then that way you have it looking pretty on both sides, and that truly does make a difference when it comes to aesthetics. So that there is how you pretty much mount these up to the wall. You just then use screws and all of that, but you might be going, okay, I know exactly how I want this up on the wall. How am I going to get the screws in the correct place? Use this. This is the installation tool. I designed this while I was putting that up on the back, and it's nice and simple. You'll see that's how it lines up with everything there, and it works with the center. So you basically just need to find the bottom left-hand corner, or whichever way that you're building your multi-board, line it up with the edges here, draw yourself little dots, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. Make sure that this is nice and level. What's key here is that your first tile is as level as possible, and then from there it's actually really easy to just sort of snap all the tiles together to build out and make that all nice and easy. Okay, so that there is building your first board. Let me give you some other hints and tips about multi-board in general here, okay? So, you know, double-sided and all of that good stuff, but what about freestanding? So this is a nice little freestanding foot. Now you might be wondering, what on earth, these two little parts? This is the freestanding foot. How does that fit in there? So this is specifically designed to be squeezed, okay? This one here also is the one that has holes in it. This is the one that lets you put it underneath the table. So I'm gonna go for the middle here. I'm squeezing it together, and then I'm pushing it into place. So you gotta squeeze it and push it into place. Now you'll see that it's deformed now, and this flops around all over the place. You have to get the little spacer here. You have to put it in between the two. Now it's going to be really tough for me to show you this on camera, but you got to put it in between the two, and then once they're in between, they're going to be at an angle like this. You've got to just slowly straighten it up. So I'm going to try and do it here while I'm live. Let's see. It can be a little bit fiddly, this part, but once it's in, and that's it done. So you just got to be patient with it, slowly but surely. Get it. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can show you that. So now I've got it there at an angle, and now I'm going to just carry on twisting it to one side, and then the other side, and then the other side, and the top side, and that is now in there, nice and solid. That's not going anywhere. That is now ready to be freestanding. So that is freestand mounts. This is pretty awesome stuff. Oh, there's actually something I forgot to mention, which was this little guide thing, along with this little guide thing here. These little guides work with these quad connectors, and that is if you want to line these up to do the holes, you use that as a guide like so first. Or if you're wanting to just permanently keep these together in the right alignment, you use this little print here. You put it in between the two, and you put it in between the two, and then you know that they're going to be lined up correctly, so you don't have to worry about, oh, is one the wrong way round for my quad snap that I put on top of it. Okay, so that's that there. I forgot to mention that. Sorry about that. Then there's some other little things that I want to show you, which is the T-bolts. Yes, they are amazing, but not everybody likes that look. That look can not exactly be your favorite. So we've got these nice little beauty caps. Best way to use these is just print it, then pinch it a little bit to bend them into place, and then that lets you glue or just push fit on top like that. So it looks like a normal bolt, but it's actually a T-bolt underneath, and we've got the exact same for the smaller pegboard hole versions as well. Now let's talk a little bit about Multigrid. Now Multigrid, it's a big one, Multigrid really. Bin bottoms are still in development because I want to do a whole bunch of stuff with that. We've got lids and all of that. So the bins, they come in a variety of different styles. There's the ones with a whole bunch of holes in the bottom. There's no holes, there's minimum holes. Now you might be wondering, why on earth do they have holes in the bottom? They have holes in the bottom because if you get this is the Multigrid plate. These are the panel grids, I think. I always forget the names, but this specifically interlocks with a multigrid. Let me Oh wait, is this the wrong one? No, this is the right. This interlocks with the multi-grid. Good and proper. Now there's holes in this one that let you screw in a small thread into there. Let me try and find that for you quickly. Oh well, no luck finding a small thread that quickly, but here is a small-ish thread. There's specific multi-grid small threads, and this is going to go down into there, and that goes all the way down to the bottom, and you see that now holds the plate onto the multi-board completely. And these plates, if we undo that screw just a little bit, right, we have that undone, that means we can get ourselves one of these that have a hole in it, and then we can put that onto here, lining up the screw with the hole, and then we're going to screw up that screw, and here's where the multi-tool comes in. It has this little part here that's to go in there, and you turn this round. Oh, I'm using the wrong thread for this, but that there, whoops. Let me get the right screw for it. There we go. Put it around this way, tighten it up, and that there, that's not going anywhere. So that's how you can use these. Now there's a whole bunch more development coming into these. There's even ones of the multi-grid that already work. They don't work this way. The actual base bottom part of it is on the side of the box. I'll show you a picture of it right now up on screen, and then that lets you just put it straight like that. Actually, it's the one that I have here on the side right there. So that one there just straight up connects up. Okay, but there's still more to this whole multi-grid aspect of things. So let me just show you everything that's going on. So these lovely multi-grid, so if you don't want to go with the plates, because they are quite a bit to print, there's just these simple grids. Now these simple grids do have these little bow tie connectors, and that's how you can connect these grids together. And this one has a little bit of a bigger space to it, because that's going to let you put it on top of other lid attachments. These little attachments work here. They go right there and they connect up like that. So then you can put that little attachment on top of there, which then lets you put little small boxes on top of that. The snap extensions, nice simple prints. They're like this, and they literally just go on and they press on. Now the best way to get these off is you go from one corner, you either press on one side or you grab it from one side and then you pull. If you try and come at it from a wall, all you're doing is locking it more into place. You have to almost like press the walls in. The bigger the box, the weaker the walls. I have tried to mitigate that quite a bit, and the smaller the box, much stronger the walls are, but I've found the best medium spot at the moment. Let me know in feedback over in the Discord forum if you want a stronger click extension for the larger boxes. Personally, I haven't found that I've needed it, but who knows, maybe you do. So that's the extensions. And let me see, is there something else that I wanted to show you while I was at it here? No, I think that's it for now. If there's anything else that you wish was in this getting started guide, I think that sort of gives you a good overview of everything that's going on. It shows you how to build the boards. It shows you a whole bunch of what's going on here. Actually, there was one other thing I wanted to show you, which was these nice little grids, right? They have a little screw hole in there, and they have a screw hole because that aligns up perfectly with a multi-board. And if you use one of the designated multi-grid screws, which are super duper thin, then you're basically able to get the same functionality as these, but like that. And then straight away, you've now got the multi-grid straight up ready like that. And remember that all of these down here, that is the same push fit accessory hole. So that there can take a thread. If you want it to take a thread, it can also take a push fit accessory. There is so much going on here, and I cannot wait to see what all of you are going to be making with this. All right, that's it for now. Let me know over in the Discord if I've missed anything. Let me know in the comments of this video if you want of any other information that I haven't mentioned here. This is still very much the early days. I have lots of work still to do with this, and I cannot wait to see what you're all going to be making with it. And yeah, here we go. Let's get going. Let's make things and keep making.